Hello everyone, I am Deborah. Welcome back to my channel and to my kitchen, where I am finding and making keto-friendly recipes in the hopes that they will keep me focused, satisfied, and in keto. Thank you guys so much for joining me. So you guys, for some time now, I have been wanting to make a cheesecake, and this is going to be my very first cheesecake. In or out of keto. This is going to be my very first one, and I am not just excited about it, but I am super excited to try my hand at a cheesecake. So recently the opportunity presented itself, and the reason being is because, guys, you already know, sometimes we make things and they are a fail. That's up. Sometimes they are a fail. Well, I had a fail recently, and the fail was with lemon cookies. It just wasn't hitting it for me. So I tried to like them. I tried my very best to like them, but again, no, wasn't working for me. So what I decided was what I could do was to use those cookies for the crust to a cheesecake. So here we are. Because those cookies had nothing in them except for some almond flour, some sweetener, some vanilla. And here we are. That would make the perfect crust for a cheesecake. So that is what I am going to use today. Now, the recipe that I found that inspired me to make my cheesecake came from KetoConnect. So that is one that I am going to be using for my filling. But again, since I am using these leftover cookies, as a matter of fact, here they are. These are the failed cookies. So since I'm going to be grinding these up and then we'll be using these for my crust, please do follow the recipe for the cheesecake that was made on KetoConnect, and obviously I will leave the link to that in my description. So you guys, without further ado, before we get into me showing you how I'm going to put this cheesecake together, let me also show you the pans that I recently purchased, and I will be using those for the first time as well. And these are the spring form pans that I purchased from Amazon. And the reason why I love these so much is because it came with 3 different sizes. It came with a 4-inch, a 7-inch, which is the one I'm going to be using today, and also a 9-inch. And in addition to that, it also came with some liners, you guys. I thought I was gonna have to get my my scissors and put it to cutting out some circles with the parchment paper that I have. Don't have to do that. These came with some liners already pre-cut, pre-measured, so we are good to go. And if you are interested in these particular springform pans, I will leave the link to them in my description as well. So now, you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and make this cheesecake together. Now, this is everything that you'll need to make this delicious cheesecake with blueberry sauce. So you guys go ahead and get everything pre-measured so that we can bake together. Okay, everyone, let's start with making the crust for this cheesecake. And again, I had some leftover lemon cookies that I made, which is what I used for the base for my crust. But please do follow the recipe on KetoConnect for their crust, which consists of almond or pecan meal, erythritol, as well as butter. And what I did with my cookies is I put it into my little mini blender. I crushed them, and what I'm going to do is put a little bit more of melted butter in it just so I can bind this crust together. And before I put the butter in it, I put maybe about a teaspoon or so of vanilla extract into the butter, mix it together, and again, I'm going to pour it into these crumbs and stir it up, and it is going to form the base for my crust. And again, guys, I do not like to waste food. So when I realized that these cookies were just not cutting it for me, I knew immediately that was my opportunity to go ahead and make this cheesecake that I had been wanting to make for such a long time. And am I glad that I did. And this crust is coming together so well. There's a big piece of cookie that did not quite get broken up enough, so I just took that out. And this is ready. That is perfection. Just the right texture. Now this is my spring form pan, and what I did is I sprayed a little nonstick cooking spray at the bottom just so I can get the parchment to stick at the bottom. And I'm pouring this crust into the pan. And the recipe did call for, I do believe, an 8-inch pan, but again, mine is 7. I want to say it's 7.5 inches. But it was definitely close enough. Go ahead and press that down in the bottom. And once I finish that, I will show you guys what the end result looks like. And there it is. Now go ahead and put that into the refrigerator for 20 minutes. And let's get going on this filling. So you start off with 16 ounces, which is 2 blocks of softened cream cheese, and continue to blend that until creamy. Add in the 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And this stuff was thick, but eventually it did loosen up and became very creamy. Okay, next we are going to put in a 1/2 cup of powdered, make sure it's powdered, erythritol. You want to make sure that the batter is creamy and not grainy, which is what you would get if you use granulated sugar or granulated sweetener. Okay, that is now nice and creamy. Next thing I'm going to do is to add the 2 eggs, one at a time. Continue to blend until the eggs are well incorporated. And this is the second egg. Now for the lemon zest. I'm adding 1 teaspoon of that. And now I am going to fold in the 1/3 cup of sour cream. And the reason why I'm folding it in instead of mixing it in with the hand mixer is I remember as a child my mom making her phenomenal cheesecake. She used to fold it in, and those cheesecakes came out so light and airy. So I am going with what I remember. And hopefully I can achieve the same results that she did. And this is what this looks like. It's smooth and creamy. All right, guys. Now it's time to put the filling onto this crust and we can get ready to bake it. Okay, so this filling is in the spring form pan. Just smooth it out to make sure that everything is nice and even. And now this is ready for the oven, which has been preheated at 325 degrees. And that is going to bake for 45 to 50 minutes. And while this baking, we are going to get ready to make the sauce. Now, KetoConnect's recipe called for strawberry sauce. Didn't have any strawberries, so I am using blueberries. So I put in 1 cup of frozen blueberries, a half a tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of erythritol, and go ahead and let that boil. And once the juice starts to come out of those blueberries and these blueberries start to pop, we're going to add in the xanthan gum. And that is used to thicken this sauce. Go ahead and stir that together. And this was brought down to a simmer while I was mixing the xanthan gum in with the blueberry sauce. And just a matter of a couple of minutes later, this is the end result. So guys, this is ready. So just set this aside and let it cool. Now, about 50 minutes to an hour later, this is the finished result as far as my cheesecake is concerned. So what I did is I let it cool and then I refrigerated overnight. And the next day, this is what we have, the perfect cheesecake ready to serve. Look at that slice. This cheesecake is creamy, it is smooth, and I will soon find out it is absolutely delicious. So I did the extra here, guys. I took a little of the powder, I think it was allulose that I used, and I sprinkled it on top for the presentation. And now I'm going to top this cheesecake with some of this blueberry sauce. And this is the end result. Hello everyone, welcome back. It is actually the next day. So I started actually making this cheesecake Friday evening after I got home from work. I couldn't wait any longer. So after I finished baking it, I had to let it cool down. Then I had to refrigerate. So now it is the next day. But did you guys see that slice of cheesecake that I actually cut? Oh my God, you guys, and here it is. My very first cheesecake. I mean, the very first. Keto or non-keto. Do you see that? I am so proud of this. So let's see if it tastes as good as it looks. Oh my gosh, this is a masterpiece right here. And oh my gosh, that crust, you know, that failed cookie recipe became the prize in this. Look at that crust, you guys. Is that not amazing or what? It is buttery and it is light. Okay, let's see how it tastes. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you guys something. You could serve this to non-keto people as well. This is how good and creamy this cheesecake is. Unbelievably delicious. Unbelievable. You guys, this is perfection. There is not one thing that I would change about this. Not one. This salad is world delicious. And of course, if you guys have tried this recipe before, or if you tried it after seeing my video, please do leave your comments to let us all know how much you love this cheesecake. And this blueberry sauce, spot on perfect. It is absolutely delicious along with this cheesecake. And this is what this looks like after refrigerating it. And as you can see from the footage, I actually did not have fresh blueberries. I have frozen blueberries. So I used that, worked out perfectly. Only thing that I had to do differently is I did not have to add any water because water came from the frost from the frozen blueberries. And I'm going to tell you guys what I'm going to do because I am loving this cheesecake so much. I'm going to look at other recipes and see which other flavors I can come up with, and I will definitely be bringing them to you because the wait is over. The wait is over. Now that I know just how delicious this is, now that I know that I can make cheesecake, because I remember growing up, you guys, and my mom was the queen at making cheesecakes. Her cheesecakes spot on delicious. I'm telling you, I'm a New Englander. I grew up north, and I tell you, those cheesecakes were so good. I truly believe the bakers from New York came to her to get those cheesecakes because that's how good her cheesecakes were. But if I were able to give her a slice of this, I think she would love it because this thing is really, really that good. And I remember it being just a labor of love when she made her cheesecakes, and so I didn't know whether or not I could pull it off. And you guys, I did. My very first cheesecake. Look at that. Wow, you guys. Please do give this video a thumbs up. Please do share. And if you've not yet become a part of my YouTube family, please do so by pressing that subscribe button below. And please do try this cheesecake recipe. I promise you, you are going to love it. Absolutely love it. So guys, until we meet again, stay safe, stay healthy, stay encouraged, stay in keto, and keep growing, keep thriving, and keep pushing those boundaries. And I will see you guys real soon on my next I've Got Something to Say to Bon Appetit.